Thank you, Mel. I'm George Callender. I'm the chair of the audit division. Still have a problem with saying quality audit division. We were quality audit division for so many years. I would like to call the annual audit division business meeting to order. And this is the presentation summary in which I plan to follow. So with this, instead of introducing each one of the audit division member leaders, I'm going to wait because I've got it on each one of the slides. So the first thing that I need to do is verify that we have a quorum. Audit division members? I see that we do have a quorum, so therefore we can. The first business is the approval of the 2012 business meeting minutes. Those were put out on the website. It was linked to the conference website. It was also an e-blast that went out from headquarters. Is there any corrections or anything that needs to be corrected in those meeting minutes? If there's no corrections or changes that needs to be made to the minutes, do I hear a motion to approve the second? Okay, the meeting minutes are approved then. Okay, I'd first like to start with the financial report. We are going to present at a very high level because we all are pressed for time and don't want to hold you up from the event down the hill here. So I'm going to start with the financial report. Cindy Bonafide is our treasurer. For the end of year 2012, our ending balance in the checking and money market accounts was $174,000. Our total revenue for 2012 was $311,248. The net surplus for 2012 was $21,257. So we had a pretty good year last year. This year to date, 2013 year to date, we've got a balance in our checking and money market accounts of $236,500. We've had a year-to-date total revenue of $96,554 and a year-to-date net surplus of $38,572. We will still have, conference expenses and so forth and some of that. So it gives you a little bit skewed position, but it tells you where we are coming into this conference. Do I hear a motion to approve the financial report? Do I hear a second? Any opposed? Okay, the financial report is approved then. Okay, I'm going to start in the membership chair and regional counselors area. Lawrence Mossman is our membership chair. Lawrence is doing an outstanding job in this area. He has, as all of ASQ has seen a decrease in membership. The stats as of September the 1st, 2013, we have membership of 7,719 and an overall trend increasing of 1% over the last year for this same period of time. So we are roughly holding our own, which is, as Milt said, is really better than what the society as a whole is doing. Membership has remained consistently by decreasing our unpaid members and then also by going out and renewals and also our new members. If we have someone that hasn't paid their dues, then Lawrence goes out with a letter to them, contacting them to try to get them, and this has helped. We are seeing a return on investment there. He also, with the regional counselors and with his activities, more of an outreach to our membership, especially our new members, because as you heard from ASQ headquarters in the past, roughly in the first 2 years, 50% of those new members dropped out of ASQ. Volunteers have increased. We set up a program within the audit division for volunteers. Lawrence traces all of the volunteers and keeps in touch with them, and we are beginning to see from them returns on that. We are always looking for new volunteers. Someone is willing to make the commitment. One of the things that we find, and the same as Milt reported earlier, you have a lot of people that shows interest, but then when you present them with what the position descriptions are and what's required, that number dwindles very quickly. So it's a challenge that we must continue to address, and we are trying to do that in the audit division. And the thing I challenge each and every one of you with is to improve your professional society by getting involved, because that's the only way. And you don't just get involved by volunteering for one activity or one time a year. It takes a commitment. Regional counselors, we presently have 18 regional counselors. We have 6 openings. If anybody is interested in being a regional counselor, one of the requirements that we ask of our regional counselors is that they be a CQA, because what we do is we train those CQAs to be able to present the CQA refresher course in their regions. And by doing that, we can offer it at a much improved rate to our membership. We are in need of additional, even though I said we have 18 regional counselors, we are also in need of deputy regional counselors, because if you looked at these regions, they're very large, and it takes a lot to try to cover one region, and one person cannot cover it. Lawrence has taken on the challenge to update and revise the Audit Division Regional Counselors Handbook. I know I updated, I think the last time we updated was in 2006, 2007, so it's in definitely need of an update. The next one I'd like to address is the chair-elect in Education and Training Chair, and this is Nancy Boudreau. And one thing I'd like to say is, even though we're presenting this on a high level, if there's questions you have for these individuals, they're going to be around all this week. Please stop them and ask them questions and get anything that you may have not come out in this meeting. The audit handbook was issued. The new 4th edition was issued in late December, and December was the first time in which the new body of knowledge was used for testing. The CQA refresher material, Nancy has revised all of this, and that's what we are using to teach. As a result of the increase in the size of the body of knowledge and the Audit Division Handbook, we've had to go from 2 days to 2.5 days. The Audit Division has 4 trained and certified instructors that we utilize, and one of the things you're going to see that the demand continues to be very high for the CQA refresher and for CQA certification. As of this date, we've presented the CQA refresher 6 times this year so far, and even just in the next few months, we've got 7 more classes that's scheduled to happen. The refresher class is effective. As the pass rate, and I'll show those statistics later on, that has the pass rate for attending the class has improved tremendously. The next area is the technical, vice chair of technical, and this is Doug Burke, who is co-conference chair here. As I said, the book of knowledge has been, for the audit handbook, has been updated. The certification exam. The handbook was revised and reviewed by division members. J.P. Russell is the editor for us and editing the handbook. This is just the I'm not going to go through each one of these, but this just gives you an indication of the increase that happened in the new expanded topics in the auditing handbook. Some new things were added in, and that's why we had to go to 2.5 days versus 2 days. The standards representation, J.P. Russell handles that for us as a member of the Standards Council. He's been he's secretary of ASC Z1 Committee for Revision of the ISO Standard 19011, and member of the International Working Group for Development of a Management System Standard for Educational Organizations. He's attended a number of meetings, for the U.S. TAG to TC 176. ISO 9001, the committee draft is out. We do not know what year that will be actually issued. It's circulated in June and July for a comment review at the August meeting. The master document for all management system standards is Annex SL. However, automotive and medical devices sections have notified TAG 1706 and ISO that they will not modify their standards, the TS 16949 and ISO 13485, to conform to this annex. So we've heard a lot about standards are needed and standardization is needed. This is some of the things, some of the battles that are being fought and must be overcome in order to come up with uniform standards. ANSI ASQ E4, Quality Management Systems for Environmental Information and Technology programs, will be revised to conform with Annex SL. The new working items proposal circulated within the ASQ Standards Committee. Education and training certification. The CQA refresher materials were updated. The CQA pass rate, and I've got a table on the next one, but the number that really stands out to me is there are 48,156 CQAs as of August 2013. This is tremendous. If you look at that, that is roughly more than half of the total membership of ASQ. But yet, where we're missing the boat on this is that not all of them, they join in order to get their certification, and then they get out of the society. We've got to figure out how to keep them in. We, within the audit division, finally, after much insistence, we went back to headquarters and asked, because we were not even given a list of who were CQAs. Even though we're the audit division, we were not allowed to have that list. After much hard battles and fighting with headquarters, we finally got a listing. It was a hard copy. We could not get an email copy to send emails out. So we have mailed out letters to these CQAs to try to get them involved in the audit division and increase our membership. It's paying dividends, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to try to improve membership within the audit division. Like I said, I have the chart here. It's not, I know it's probably stretching your eyes to be able to see something like this, but this just gives you a feel for the number of people taking it and the pass rate. We've had some classes that with people that sit through the CQA and then take the refresher course and then take the exam. We've had some classes that are 100%, others that's in the 90%. We used to say that pass-fail rate was 80%, but that rate is increasing due to the excellent class presentation by our instructors. Also within this area is our web liaison. This web liaison was done, and it was, we put it out for this conference on a website that we went out so that we could control the website rather than ASQ headquarters control the website. The one at headquarters, we just couldn't get the turnaround times that we needed, and we went out and got our own website and updated as necessary. The conference presentations and all will be out there. There's the QR code that's been optimized for mobiles. And we'd like your feedback on this. Was it effective? Did it work for you? If not, we'll certainly go back to the drawing board and see what we need to do. But it's some of the out-of-the-box thinking that we said, hey, these things need to be changed. It's not happening the way it should. The next area is arrangements and logistics, if I don't lose my voice. Quitman White is Vice Chair of Arrangements and Logistics. And you can imagine that putting on one of these events like this is a tremendous logistics nightmare. And I say a nightmare because it is. It takes a lot to make it happen, and Quitman does an excellent job with it. In 2014, we will not have a separate audit division standalone conference, but what we're looking at is some more out-of-the-box thinking where we're going to go team with some regional conference and either provide support to them or resources to the regions. Right now, we're still working with 2 different regions to see how we may best do that. The contract for the 2015 Annual Audit Division Conference will be back at the Pepper Mill in Reno, Nevada. If any of you were there at our last time, I signed that contract the day after we completed that conference there. The hotel wants us back, and we got a very good deal. The room rates are going to be outstanding. It'll be as good. You will get the same rates you got when we were there previously. No increase in price. We're going to still be looking for areas and searching for audit competent venues for 2016, 2017. If you have input on this, input to Quitman White so that we can take a look at them and determine whether or not it's feasible to do it there. One of the things we need to do is, many years ago, whenever I first got involved full-time with the audit division, we bought equipment. We went out and bought projectors, we bought computers, so that we didn't have to rent them at these hotels. Our equipment is getting old. We need to upgrade it, and by taking, sort of a lesser role next year, we'll be able to update that equipment. I mean, you may not be aware of it, but if we rent a printer from the hotel here, we could be looking at $500 a day per unit. You can buy a printer for that. We've got our containers. The booth has been shipped around many places throughout the world. It's a big booth. It's heavy. Our containers are going to have to be replaced. We have enhanced the merchandise that we and Glenda West and Cindy Bonafide have done an excellent job in handling all of that and doing the inventory on it. We need volunteers. I mean, just like, we're all volunteers. We need volunteers to help. If you have an interest, especially in the arrangement area, contact Quitman. He'll be glad to provide you with the details, and we'd love to have you get involved because, you look at us, we're all getting old. I mean, our hair's gray, and we need some new, young blood to come in and, and carry this forward. The next area I'll address is the voice of the customer and the financial audit chair report, and this is provided by Suzanne Burke. Unfortunately, due to her employment commitment, she couldn't be here for this event, but she provided me the report. Our financial audit was done on time. The financial certificates and reports were signed and submitted to headquarters in February 2013. The actual revenue and expenses were compared to the budget revenue, and expenses were found to be reasonable. The audit provided evidence that the division treasurer maintains complete records of transactions, meets requirements, and works with the division chair to ensure the budget is monitored. Cindy and I work very close together on budgets. I mean, if there's an expense that comes in, Cindy comes to me with it, and we go and agree and approve it before it's paid. The audit that was conducted by Suzanne did not identify any deficiencies in. Now, as naturally, all of it comes with, there's always some improvements, and we will be working on some of the improvements that needs to be done. The voice of the customer in 2012, we sent out a satisfaction survey after the conference to attendees. Some of the feedback we got, more current topics, diverse group of session speakers, more advanced sessions. The feedback was utilized in the planning of this. We hope that we're successful, but if we're not, please let us know. The voice of the customer created an email link to generate direct line of communication with the division. This may sound like something that's very simple, but it's paid big dividends for us. We get direct input from our membership. It's been an effective tool for us, and we'll continue to use it. The next area is the conference and events chair, and Glenda West is our conference and events chair. Glenda has supported the WCQI Technical Program Committee for World Conference. She's also soliciting more division presentations for presenting at the World Conference. She promoted this conference at Indianapolis whenever Doug could not be there. She is also co-chair of the conference bookstore. She and Cindy handle the bookstore and do an excellent job of handling the bookstore. She's participating in a new initiative by the Technical Communities Council at headquarters. Provides opportunities for select divisions committee chairs to share knowledge and opportunities for collaboration. This is an initiative that started with headquarters. The new initiatives provide opportunities for the conference program chairs to network, share ideas, knowledge, information, and solve common problems. She is currently working to create a conference manual of best practice, procedures, requirements, and guidelines for use by the division. We used to have that. However, over the years, it has suddenly gone away and out of date, and that needs to be recreated because, as was said here earlier, for someone that hasn't been a conference chair, it's a tremendous task to be a conference chair, and it takes a lot. And if you've got to learn everything from scratch, it is one fast learning curve. The conference manual is an activity that's ongoing. Immediate past chair report, John Mascara was our previous chair of the audit division. John is chair of our strategic planning and also of our nominations and, for officers. The strategic planning meeting and budget, we conducted that meeting here. We status where we were in the 2013, 2012-2013 strategic plan and business plan / budget. We came up that we didn't do everything that we intended to do, but we did receive 85% compliance. We also have addressed our 2014 strategic plan. We've got to finish formulating that and submitting that to headquarters. John is also responsible for the division awards. If you remember in the past, we've always given out a Paul Gauthier Award if there was, was individuals that was deserving of it. We don't give it out unless we get nominations that we feel that are deserving of it. And we did not receive any applications this year, and that's why there will not be one presented at this conference. The 2014-2015, because the audit division, like the quality management division, is on a 2-year cycle, 2-year term. My term will be coming up at the end of this year. Nancy Boudreau, who is chair-elect, will become chair of the division, and I will be leaving it in very good hands. We've submitted, the names have been submitted for our election and will be contacted for interviews. The names, if someone wants to submit some other name, names can be submitted per the ASQ requirements and procedures. There's a set of guidelines that even though the nominating committee in the division may not have put forth a person's nomination, if you want to enter someone into nomination, there are certain rules and guidelines in which you can do and get a certain number of members to sign, and they can be placed on the ballot. The ballot will be published on the Audit Division website. The newest member of our group, Vice Chair, and we've slightly renamed this to Vice Chair of Communications, and that is Joyce Hopperton. Joyce has much management experience, and with Peter Gauthier, who was Vice Chair of Administration, he resigned due to his workload. Joyce, as I said, has been identified as his replacement. The first thing that we need to do in this area and that Joyce is taking on is to publish our Audit Division newsletter after this conference. When Peter resigned, we also had the newsletter editor also resigned in this area, and we are certainly looking for newsletter skills. We did have one lady that did editing work for us that had helped Mark Seidlack, produce the newsletter, but we are certainly always looking. So if anybody has an interest, please see Joyce and volunteer to help us with this, because this is an area we definitely need help in. Okay, the plan for 2014, Nancy said, "Are you committing me to this?" I said, "No, you're committing yourself to it." So anyway, as we said, we're going to participate in some regional events. We're still working out those details. We want to increase the retention and growth of the membership. We want to continue to recruit new members, such as the 48,156 CQAs. We want to implement a formal succession planning process and recruit new leadership team members. And as Milt said, we're going to be out after the PAR award also. We had a 5-year string running prior to the changeover at headquarters to the PAR award, so we're certainly interested in continuing to pursue that award of excellence. Okay. It seems like we've helped just about on time. I'll ask if there's any new business or any old business that you want to bring up before I adjourn the meeting. Yes, Nancy. Okay, did all of you hear that Nancy has the slips for attending this? If you're looking for RUs for your certifications and so forth, just pick up one from Nancy as your documentation for it. For the audit division only. Quality management uses a different list that they use. So, if there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting? I see a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a second? The meeting is adjourned, and thank you very much for attending the conference. Thank you for your attendance here.